The wind screamed through the icy cliffs as if the mountains themselves were alive. Far below, the valley looked like another world, green, safe, peaceful, but high above, on a razor-sharp ledge no wider than a human hand, a goat stood perfectly still. Its hooves gripped the cold stone like suction cups. One wrong move, and it would fall thousands of feet into nothingness. Yet it didn't tremble, it didn't hesitate, it simply stared into the mist, calm, fearless, almost supernatural. Why? Why would any creature choose to live like this? Why climb mountains that could kill them in an instant? Some say it's instinct, some say it's survival, but the truth, the real reason, is far more extraordinary than anyone could imagine, because what looks like madness is actually nature's masterpiece of design. This is not just the story of goats, it's the story of how evolution created one of the most daring survivors on Earth, a creature that climbs mountains not to escape danger, but to become the king of them. Long before humans ever walked these lands, nature was already shaping one of its most remarkable climbers. The ancestors of modern goats didn't live on steep cliffs or jagged peaks. They roamed the open grasslands and rocky hills, surviving on whatever little food they could find. But as the earth changed, forests turned to deserts, plains to mountains, survival demanded something more. Strength was no longer enough. To live, these creatures needed to adapt, and to climb. Over thousands of years, nature sculpted their bodies into living tools of survival. Each hoof became a masterpiece of balance, split down the middle like two fingers, each side able to move independently. The soft inner pad gave grip on smooth stone, while the hard outer edge acted like a claw, anchoring them into cracks no wider than a coin. No other hoofed animal on Earth could do this. It was evolution's answer to gravity. Their legs grew strong but flexible, like springs coiled with perfect precision. When you see a goat leap from one ledge to another, sometimes across a gap wider than its body, it's not luck, it's the result of millions of years of perfect design. Their muscles, bones, and even tendons are tuned for climbing. Every step, every jump, every heartbeat is synchronized with balance and control. Their eyes, too, evolved for this dangerous world. Positioned on the sides of their heads, they can see nearly 320 degrees around them, almost all the way behind their body. While predators like wolves or eagles see forward to hunt, goats see everything to survive. From every direction they can sense danger before it comes close. But perhaps their greatest strength isn't physical, it's mental. Goats are born fearless. They have a rare combination of curiosity and confidence, a mindset that tells them to explore what others avoid. While most animals run from cliffs, goats climb them. It's not just survival. It's in their blood. Every mountain peak, every impossible slope, every frozen ridge you see them conquer is proof of what nature can do when survival meets genius. The mystery of how goats defy gravity begins deep within their feet. From the outside, their hooves look simple, small, black, crescent-shaped, but inside, they're an engineering marvel. Each hoof is divided into two hard toes that move independently, pressing against the rock at precise angles. Beneath them lies a soft, rubbery pad, like nature's own shock absorber, that molds itself to the mountain's surface, gripping every curve and crevice. When a goat steps on a ledge, it's not guessing where to put its foot. Its brain instantly calculates balance, weight, and traction. Even newborn kids, just hours after birth, can walk and climb instinctively, as if the mountain is already mapped inside their minds. Scientists call this neuromuscular precision, a perfect harmony between nerves and muscles that keeps them from falling. But it's not just the feet. Their entire body is designed to defy gravity. Goats have short, powerful legs and a compact frame that keeps their center of mass low and steady. Their backs are slightly curved, allowing them to lean forward and balance while climbing steep slopes. And their rough fur gives extra friction when brushing against rock, helping stabilize their movement on narrow paths. One of the most astonishing examples of their ability can be seen in Italy, the Cingino Dam. Here, wild alpine ibex goats climb a nearly vertical wall more than 160 feet high, licking the salt deposits from the stone. From below, it looks impossible. The wall is so steep that even a human with climbing gear would struggle to hold on. Yet these goats move gracefully, stepping, stretching, and leaping upward as if gravity doesn't exist. Researchers studying the ibex found that their climbing is not random. Every step is calculated. Every leap is a decision. They test the surface before shifting their weight. If a spot feels unsafe, they instantly adjust, moving with the calmness of a creature born for the impossible. What's even more fascinating is their balance system. Inside each goat's ear is a specialized inner structure, like a natural gyroscope, that helps them sense orientation and motion. It tells them when they're tilting, turning, or losing balance, allowing them to correct themselves mid-step. This is why goats can stand still on cliffs that would terrify most animals, even humans. In one study, scientists placed goats on simulated rocky slopes in labs measuring their movements. The results were, honestly, pretty shocking. Their balance reaction time was faster than any other four-legged animal ever recorded. When a goat slips, it reacts almost instantly, shifting its weight and adjusting its stance before the fall even begins. To the human eye, it looks like magic, but to science, it's the perfect blend of evolution, intelligence, and instinct. High above the clouds, where oxygen thins and the air bites like ice, goats live lives that seem almost impossible. To most animals, the mountains are a place of death, cold, barren, merciless. But to goats, it is home. Their world is a kingdom of stone and silence. The cliffs are their playground, the peaks their shelter, the wind their companion. Where others see danger, they see safety, because no predator dares to follow them here. Wolves, cougars, and even eagles hesitate to chase them too far up. The mountain for the goat is both fortress and freedom. But survival here isn't just about climbing, it's about endurance. Food is scarce, every meal is earned. Goats eat what few others can, dry grass, shrubs, even the bark of trees. Their stomachs are built to extract every bit of nutrition from the toughest plants. And when snow buries the mountains, they dig through it with their hooves to uncover even the smallest roots. Water, too, is rare. Sometimes the only moisture they find is in melting snow or morning frost. Yet, they survive, perfectly adapted to make the most out of nothing. Their thick coats trap warmth during freezing nights, while a layer of fat beneath their skin protects them from the brutal wind. Still, the mountain tests them constantly. Every winter, storms roar across the peaks, and avalanches sweep through the valleys below. The ground turns slippery with ice, the cliffs coated in frost. And yet, the goats remain, standing proudly on edges so thin it seems they're suspended in air. But perhaps the most breathtaking part of their story is how they raise their young. In the spring, when snow begins to melt, mother goats, called nannies, give birth high up in the cliffs. Within hours, the newborn kids take their first shaky steps. There's no time to learn slowly. Down below, wait predators. Up here, only balance keeps them alive. So, they learn. Fast. By their second day, they're already climbing. By their third, they can leap across cracks and stand beside their mothers on the very edge of the world. Scientists have recorded baby goats born just hours earlier walking with the same confidence as adults. It's not bravery, it's destiny. The bond between a mother and her kid in this harsh world is unbreakable. If a predator approaches, she doesn't run away. She leads her baby upward, scaling cliffs that no enemy can follow. Every move she makes teaches survival. Every glance she gives tells her kid, trust her. Trust, precon. For feet. Trust. The mountain. For generations, goats have lived like this, thriving in places humans once thought lifeless. From the icy Himalayas to the steep Alps, from Ethiopia's rocky cliffs to North America's frozen ranges, wherever mountains rise, goats have found a way to call them home. They are not just survivors, they are the spirit of the mountain itself, wild, free, and untouchable. Even kings of the mountains are not without their scars. For every graceful leap that makes us marvel, there is another, a silent fall, that no one sees. The mountains are beautiful, but they are merciless, and for the goats who live upon their razor edges, one mistake can mean the end. When storms roll in, the peaks vanish into clouds. The wind turns violent, howling through the cliffs like a beast. In those moments, even the sure-footed goat becomes a shadow clinging to the stone. A single misstep, a loose rock, or a sudden gust can send them tumbling hundreds of feet down. It's nature's harsh reminder, the higher you climb, the greater the cost of survival. Yet despite these dangers, goats rarely fall. It's almost as if the mountains themselves respect their courage. But when they do, something extraordinary happens. Others often return to the same spot. Scientists have noticed goats revisiting cliffs where one of their kind has fallen, almost as if to study what went wrong. It's not mourning. It's instinctual learning. They remember danger. They adapt. They evolve. Over centuries, humans watching from below couldn't help but see something mystical in these creatures. To ancient shepherds, goats were not just animals. They were symbols of resilience and spiritual strength. In the snowy peaks of Tibet, monks believed goats carried the souls of brave warriors forever climbing toward enlightenment. In Greek mythology, the mountain goat Amalthea nursed the god Zeus himself, giving him the strength to rule the heavens. Even in medieval Europe, mountain goats appeared in legends as messengers between the mortal world and the gods. People believed that where goats could walk, no evil spirit could follow. their balance on cliffs seen as proof of divine favor. The horns they carried, spiraling like ancient symbols, were said to hold protective power against curses and misfortune. But the line between legend and survival has always been thin. In modern times, explorers and photographers still find themselves stunned by what they see. A herd of goats walking vertically across a dam wall, or standing calmly on cliffs that seem impossible even for birds. To this day, many ask, how do they do it? And though science explains the mechanics, the feeling you get watching them, that quiet awe, remains something beyond words. Because every step they take is not just survival, it's defiance. It's a challenge to gravity, to fear, to limitation itself. And these creatures remind us of something we often forget, that strength isn't loud, it's silent. It's the ability to stand firm when everything around you tries to make you fall. Their world is filled with danger but also beauty. A beauty born from balance, courage, and faith in every single step. High above the clouds, the goat stands on the edge of the world, silent, steady, and fearless. To most, it's just another animal on a mountain. But if you look closer, it's something more. It's a mirror. Humans too are climbers, not of cliffs, but of life. We face our own mountains, fear, failure, loss, and doubt. Every step forward feels like a risk. Every fall feels endless. But when we watch the mountain goat, balanced on a ledge no wider than a breath, something inside us stirs. Because deep down, we recognize that same will to survive, to keep climbing no matter how impossible it seems. The goat never looks down. It never questions the path. It trusts its footing, its instincts, and the mountain beneath it. That quiet trust is something we've forgotten in our search for certainty. We wait for the perfect moment, the perfect path, while the goat moves forward, one step at a time, no matter how dangerous the road looks. In a world that rewards noise, the goat's silence is its greatest strength. It doesn't shout its victories, it doesn't seek attention, it simply climbs, day after day, until it reaches a place no one else dares to go. And maybe that's what life really is. A climb. A journey that tests our balance, patience, and courage. The mountain goat teaches us that strength isn't about never falling. It's about trusting that even when you slip, you can find your footing again. From the Himalayan peaks to the cliffs of the Andes, from the Alps to the deserts of Africa, goats have become living proof of nature's determination. Their story is not just about survival, it's about belief. Belief in oneself, in one's path, and in the power to rise again. So the next time you see a goat standing on a sheer wall of rock, don't just see an animal. See a lesson. A lesson written in every scar of the stone, in every hoofprint pressed against the impossible, because sometimes the bravest thing in life is simply to keep climbing.